Okay, today we're going to talk about the do's and don'ts of the home defense gun. But before we start with that, we're going to give a shout out to the Armory channel. The Armory channel redesigned my wardrobe. The only thing I need now is a deli sandwich. And I got a bunch of fucking hankies stuck in this fucking pocket. Okay, the do's and do nots of the home defense gun. We're not going to talk about like what's better, you know, revolver, semi-auto, blah, 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 blah. We're just going to talk about guidelines that I follow with the home defense gun. Okay. And I'm going to post this, I'm going to copy this and paste it onto the description so you can all follow it a little better. And this is going to be a long video, so I don't know, get some friggin', I don't know, get a cup of coffee or some shit. I haven't done it yet. Okay. Well, obviously the first rule is do practice often with your firearms to ensure that it or they will not fail in critical circumstances. That's simple. The firearm or firearms that you are going to use for the home defense firearms, you should be testing them. You should be looking at them. You should be try to use a firearm once a month. Try to use the home defense firearm maybe 2 times a year if you can. Even if you just take it and put one magazine or one cylinder through it. Yeah, one cylinder, okay. Or one tube through it, as long as you know it's functioning. Because Murphy's Law, if it's gonna go wrong, it's gonna go wrong with the worst fucking time. It's not gonna go wrong when you're at the range and you got all day and night to fool around with it. It's gonna go wrong when you got a guy in your house. Use firearms that are user-friendly for the entire family. Now, what this means is very simple. If you have a relative who has one arm, and I'm not gonna make fun of people with one arm. I'm not a bully. But you might have a guy that was born with one arm. You might have a guy that just has a real arm that's paralyzed, or you might have a arm with the hand cut off. Maybe you were born like that, or maybe you just got in an accident, or you know what? Maybe you got injured defending the country. So I'm not gonna make fun of you. But if you got a guy in the house or a kid in the house that has one arm, I doubt very much that the home defense gun should be a lever action cowboy rifle. Also, if you have someone in the house that has severe arthritis, my mother has arthritis to a degree, but I made sure she can rack this fucker, these things here. I got 2 guns here. I got them out of sight because I'm gonna show them in a few minutes, but you may have a relative that has severe arthritis, like bone crunching arthritis, and I doubt their weapon of choice would be a SIG P220. Also, you may have a daughter who's 4'8" and she weighs 90 pounds. Do you want the home defense gun or her home defense gun to be a 22-inch shotgun loaded with 12 gauge double-aught buck, pump action? Can she physically hold on to it? Can she physically use it? Can she physically get up to her arm length? Okay. Can she tolerate it? Can she rack the pump? You know, keep in mind, the pump action shotgun is good because if I got a guy break in and I got a pump action shotgun, I can go over the door and it might scare him off. Maybe, maybe not, but it might. But you might not have physical strength to pump the shotgun, especially under pressure. You might forget. You know how many fucking people get... You gotta remember to pump. Are you gonna remember that? I don't know. So that might not be a good idea for her. So if you have a guy with one arm, obviously a handgun, and because revolvers are so much easier to use than semi-autos, obviously revolver. Now the bitch about the revolver is doesn't have a lot of ammo, Doesn't rock open like a semi-auto does when it's empty. And it's difficult to reload under pressure. Granted, a semi-auto is also hard to reload under pressure. You gotta rack the mag, punch the mag, rack the slide. That in itself might be a problem under pressure, but revolvers are gonna be worse. Revolver, you gotta tip it over. A good idea for a revolver? Get a little bag, put it over your body. 2 revolvers in the bag, 1 in your hand. Yeah, it's expensive. Bang, 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 click, drop. Bang, 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 click. Okay, so you got a guy with 1 arm, give him something like that. But make sure there's more of them. Because if you had 6 arms, you couldn't reload a revolver under pressure, let alone when you got 1. Understandable. The lady without, if you have someone with arthritis, severe arthritis, same thing. Revolver, several of them. If your daughter has the 4'8", 95 pounds, maybe will a 20 gauge work? 20 gauges aren't that bad. Will a semi-auto work? It's raining outside, excuse the rain. Will a semi-auto work? Maybe. I don't know. Will a collapsible stock work, or a shorter barrel? Maybe even go to the ARs, I don't know, or a carbine, a pistol carbine rifle that shoots carbine ammo. The best thing to do with this is, if you have a lot of guns, 10, 20, 50 guns, I'm looking at you, Pete. You have 1,000 fucking guns in your house, Pete. Maybe you should just sit down with your family, put them all on the table and say, okay, which one is the primary home defense gun, which is the secondary home defense gun, which is crap, stuff like that. And maybe even if you have to go out and buy one, if none of the home defense guns fit you for some reason, maybe buy another one. Even if you got to sell one or trade one, or, you know, make sure it's user friendly. Ensure all family members are knowledgeable of the function of the firearm. This is the most difficult firearm I have out of the 2 to arm or operate. This firearm here, Glock, good now, bang, bang. Rack the slide, pull the trigger, boom. Okay, this one, empty, more complicated. You have the safety here, and this itself is a safety, the hammer. The hammer safety, this will not go off cocked. You can put a good round in here, do this all fucking night, it ain't gonna go off. Okay, when I first got this, after I got done with finally putting the fucker back together and having this thing with the barrel bushing that was taken care of, thank God. Oh, stupid me. When I finally got rid of this, I took my parents aside and I told them flat out, look, single action only. Make sure that's back, make sure you hold on to it, pull the trigger and it goes. They have to know how it functions. The last thing you want, because don't forget, you have relatives that may not know shit about firearms. You may have a cousin or a roommate or a wife that doesn't know what the fuck a gun is. Okay, and you may not be in the house when the shit hits the fan and they gotta go with it. So you gotta make sure they know what the fuck they're doing. One aspect I left out about revolvers and shit, if you have a housemate that does not know shit about firearms, do not give them a J-frame revolver. Reasons: barrel is short, capacity is low, and grip can be fucked up. If you have a wife that never ever shot a gun her entire life and you're not in the house to do anything about it, she gets a break-in. If the home defense revolver is a little 5-shot motherfucker, will she be able to control it? If I left that out, that was number 2. I left it out, but will she be able to control it? I myself can't control the friggin' J-frame revolver with 38 special loaded into it. If I tried it again, I have a little better luck with more experience now, but under pressure, everything goes blank. You can't do shit. So maybe if your wife doesn't know anything about firearms, get her the K or L frame revolver with a longer barrel, more rounds in the cylinder, better grip, and teach her, here it is, do it like this, and bang. If you got to, take it to the range once or twice, I don't know. I left that out in number 2 though. But I guess you could also put that in the 3 and show you know how to function the firearm and shit. Ensure all family members are aware of the location of the firearm. This is very, very, very important. 1 second. If you, and I'm going to cut after this one, I'm going to go again. If you, the primary firearms owner or user, are not in the home, this is not a problem for guys like Lima Life and her husband, okay? Lima Life and her husband, they know more about freaking guns than anybody. Okay? She's more versed in guns than anybody, including her own husband probably. She knows how to shoot almost anything you can give her. So if you have a family where everyone and their mother knows how to shoot, not a problem. But for most families, including mine, they don't know how to shoot, they don't know where to shoot. Ensure that all family members are aware of the location of the firearm. Okay? You're out of the house. Your family member is home. They don't know where the firearm is. When the guy comes in the house, guess what? They're done. They are gone. You can't look for it when the guy's breaking the door down. It's too late at that point. Make sure they know where it is. Is it in the drawer? Is it in the closet? Is it under the table? Is it on the... Where the fuck is it? Make sure they know. I cannot stress that enough. They're not going to be texting you, hey, we got a break in here. Where's the gun? Oh, no. That ain't going to happen. Now I'm going to kill it at... We just got done with 4. I'm going to kill it. There's 12 do's and 7 don'ts. Yeah.